different kinds of reasoning. Rappaport mentions in an article, this has enormous value. I would like to come back to that, if I may, a little later. We'll get into those in a little bit. Good point. I'll remember that.
The American Association of Medical Colleges. He's written in Science, for those of you who have subscribed to that magazine, that journal. And he also has, I think, 2 publications, 2 books on the topic that he's going to address us with today, and that is behavioral games as it applies to physician learning. Dr. Myron Fox.
Thank you. There are several advantages I notice in coming from California. One is that you can wear shorts, whereas the Easterners wear a suit, and that you can wear a mock turtleneck shirt where we wear a tie. I'd like to start today by getting into the applicability of game theory in the field of medicine and in the field of teaching. Now, when von Neumann and Morgenstern started with game theory, it was not long before they realized that game theory was not primarily concerned with disclosing the optimum strategy. What it really is concentrating on is concerned with the logic of conflict, that is, with the theory of strategy. Now, in this way, interestingly enough, being here at the gambling state of Nevada, the question could be asked, does game theory differ from gambler's choice, where there was a conflict of interest between the 2 parties, out of which one is to emerge victorious and one is to be defeated? It is the application, if you will, of general systems where the entire man, the entire thing is discussed in relation to the ill of that patient, because everything changes. In ping pong, which does not correspond to to game theory at all, I have won 3 games, and game theory doesn't help a hell of a lot there. Chess. There have supposedly been a whole variety of differences. Chess does not come under this category because there are a whole series of potential changes which can occur in chess. Rappaport mentions in an article that many years ago, Capablanca, playing the great Cuban champion, played Marshall, the American champion, and Marshall, at the particular point of the crucial game, opened with a very alien, a very strange, a very foreign opening. And Capablanca, having a time in which he could think about this, instead of folding up, which he said was his first reaction, and becoming panicky, instead thought for a moment and came back and accepted the challenge of Marshall and won, thus proving that he won because of a gamesmanship. He outplayed Marshall. He outplayed Marshall psychologically, as well as outplaying Marshall on the board.
I'm finished.
Many years ago, there was a very great Russian chess player named Bogolyubov, back in the days of the Tsar.
There is one small thing, Colonel. I have a Luftwaffe code book with me. The top secret, of course. I wonder if you could put it in your safe.
Not a confrontation, it's a games theory. It takes place between Tosca and Scarpia.
Of course. It's a storehouse of priceless art treasures.
Now that has great significance. We say these situations exist. These are the milieu, the environment, our kids today say ecology, in which man exists. Now you must abide by that environment. If you can't, if you're in an occupation and you cannot operate in the realm within the formal walls of that occupation, perhaps it becomes incumbent upon us to say that is the wrong occupation. That is the wrong set of values. I think that idea that it might be the wrong set of values is fraught with a great many meanings. Some could be dangerous, quite dangerous. Now, to convince the other, we must get him to listen to us. And this cannot usually be done if we ourselves do not listen. We go in one door, we go all the way around, we come out the same way. I think the word was communication. We ourselves do not listen. Therefore, we must learn to listen in the broadest sense of listening, in the sense of assuming for a while the other's world outlook. Because only in this way will we make sense of what he is saying. All these skills are related not to know-how, but to wisdom. It may happen that we acquire the necessary wisdom, many of the conflicts that the strategy experts in their professional zeal insist on formulating as battles of wits, or worse, as a battle of wills, will be resolved of their own accord. The applicability of these factors, the theory of games, to the field of not only psychiatry, but the teaching of psychiatry, the training, I think has great value. Thank you, gentlemen.
Mike is a professional actor. He has simulated a position in many television shows.
Well, you better. It's the law. Cop will arrest you if he finds him.
We set you up. And the idea of this is to try to simulate a situation in which we're teaching...
The educational channel...